guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, officially welcome to the channel. This is a series where we look at various different oddities in gaming that developers either made to help the player get more into the game, visually or physically. Now, a lot of these have had influences on games and designs years past when they were active, and well, today, I don't know, but it was too neat to at least not take a look at. So, today we're going to take a look at Cosmic Commander for the Atari 2600. Kinda looking forward to this one. My inner 5-year-old already wants to play with this thing. The Cosmic Commander controller was released in 1983 for use with the Atari 2600 system. And like many of Atari's add-ons, it wasn't made by Atari itself, but by a third party, in this case, Milton Bradley. It was meant as an attachment for a packing game survival run, and man did this thing look cool. Just by looking at this thing, you would think that playing with it would make you feel like you're in the cockpit of a huge spacecraft, ready to go after all sorts of alien monsters or shoot down enemy ships, which I'm sure was the intent the entire time. I would imagine any kid around this time would be more than happy to have this if they still had their Atari 2600, especially given the time it came out. This was right around the same time as the video game market crash, at least in the United States, so I'm certain some parents got this thing for steal. But the question remains, what is this thing really, and how did it work? Well, let's take a look. As we break into our handy manual, you can see that there's some assembly required when you open up the box. The gun sights have to be attached, the lens has to be snapped into place on the front, and you need to open up the bottom and insert 40 batteries. Good lord, I've used less batteries to run a flashlight for months. Now you apply all the stickers and the rubber feet so that it doesn't slide around, and you make sure that the light bulb... Oh, I see where this is going. What this is at its core is, well, a fun controller first and foremost. You plug it in the console like normal on the left side, which it's oddly specific about, and boot up the game. Once you're in, you move like you would with any normal controller, but with a button on the upper left of the controller. Pressing this not only fires on the screen, but turns on the bulb behind the screen that you attach to the controller, and it vibrates. So essentially what this is a flashing light-up controller with some rumble that's way more bulky than the standard Atari controller. Well, at least it came with a game, so let's go and take a look at Survival Run and see what this pack-up game is really like. Now that we're into the game, I gotta say I like the look of this. I mean, for an Atari 2600 game, this seems pretty legit to me. It's straight up first-person view where you move the reticle around shooting at the aliens. The aliens can't really shoot at you until they get fairly close, so as long as you hit them at a distance, you're safe enough. The only other hazards are avoiding the energy shields, which can be disrupted by shooting the power supply on the walls, and the walls themselves, which are fairly hard to run into by all reports. The overall idea is to survive and navigate the maze that you can see diagrammed at the top of the game screen. And once you get deep enough, you face off against the final boss, which is this floating eye-looking thing. As soon as you deal with that, it's back to the beginning with the difficulty raised, which is pretty standard for most games around this time. Now, given the year this came out, I wouldn't say this is the best game you could get on the 2600, or that you would even still have a 2600, you might have gotten a 5200 out that was out at the time. The other thing is, this was mostly a slide controller, meaning it just slid around, you didn't actually really press anything. And again, given the year it came out, it should come as no surprise that it's a fairly cheap one of those by all reports I could find, meaning it was pretty flimsy and didn't really work very well as a controller at all. It also did not have any unique functionality outside the light and the vibration that a standard controller couldn't do. So, if by any chance you got a hold of Survival Run just on its own, you could simply use the standard controller and play the game just fine, potentially even better. It does, however, make a striking and fun-looking addition to a controller collection if you're into vintage controllers. So that's the Cosmic Commander controller. What do you guys think of this one? Did any of you actually have it, and how well did it work? Do you want one now if you just found out about it? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. If I could ask you for one more favor, please hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please consider it. It really helps my channel and lets me know that you enjoy the content I'm making. For now though, thank you once again. Until next time, happy gaming.